In today's video,
this guy's already gotten 100 something likes and he hasn't posted for a month. Not a good idea, dude. You shouldn't have been posting. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out here causing problems,
Well, looks like we're back here once again. During my time in the DDLC community, I have come across people and situations that have truly disgusted me beyond description. Things that to this day I still refuse to show or reveal to the world based off their sheer depravity alone. And every single time I come across one of these, I think to myself, well, surely there can't be another situation that can top this one, right? Well, here we are. What we're discussing today is not going to have the plot twists and theatrics like some of the other cases we've covered, nor is it going to be one that is going to be taken very lightly. As today, Detective Savage returns once again to take on the case of, well, I think it's better if I just show you. Alright, I'm gonna edge you a little bit. I do warn you that viewer discretion is advised. What we are going to be talking about today is not for the faint of heart. So much so that I'm risking this video's integrity just by talking about it. Although don't worry, I will warn you before we get to those parts just so that way you're not completely blindsided by it. But if you really don't mind disturbing topics, then sit back as we dive headfirst into the RealLifeNatsuki saga. Alright, let's set the scene, shall we? On January 4th, 2025, a post would be made to the r/DDLC subreddit, yeah, we're changing things up a little bit, about a DDLC fan who would even make the most hardcore of 4chan users blush a little. There is this girl on TikTok, the RealLifeNatsuki. She has around 20k-ish followers and has a Discord server. On her server is all racism and CP. As someone who was once a friend of her, I want some way as a community to get the server taken down and her TikTok banned. Screenshots will be shown. It was also mentioned by her that she hates LeBron. Spreads false information of her ex-boyfriend, my friend, cheating on her with a trans girl. Her boyfriend did nothing of the sort and broke up with her because of her racism. Now, when I first saw this, I, like many others, probably thought, yeah, this has to be a shitpost. Mostly for the LeBron comments. Like, yeah, this RealLifeNatsuki person is a massive bigot and has a server full of pedophiles and CP and stuff that I would probably cover on this channel. But hating my Pookie Bear LeBron is where she crosses the line. Unbelievable. So, I would go on about the rest of my day not really giving it that much thought. But someone did end up getting in contact with the OP on Discord to get some more info. And this one decision would open up Pandora's box into a rabbit hole that hasn't been seen since the days of the one and only 949. I'll be added into a group chat dedicated to investigating the situation, and it will be proven immediately that everything the OP said in their initial Reddit post was actually true. There was in fact a person called RealLifeNatsuki, and her Discord is lived completely up to the infamy.
I love black people.
Ew. At everyone. At everyone.
Nah, it's true. I really mug all you. Haha, Jews. I mug you all, by the way, you dumb Jews. And the worst part is you said you hate LeBron. How?
He's black. Because I'm a white supremacist. Because I'm racist.
Are you drunk again? No, Lamau.
This is the first thing I saw when opening the group chat for the first time, and it's safe to say that I was definitely intrigued, given the context of all this coming from an at the time 15-year-old Natsuki cosplayer of all people. But it's not like I haven't seen people like this before, so this was nothing really special to me. Either they end up staying like this for the rest of their lives, or they grow up and join the rest of society. Point being, they come and go. So if I was going to put everything aside to cover this, I was going to need something more. Well, unfortunately I got my wish. What is being shown in this photo here is a young boy, completely naked, holding what looks to be a Natsuki body pillow. Now luckily nothing is actually shown if you catch my drift, but I'm not even going to take the chance to even show this to y'all, even censored. But this right here would be the final straw for me to actually take this case on. The hunt was now on to find out everything there was to find out about RealLifeNatsuki, the people in the server, and to bring a stop to this shit ASAP. But little did we all know, we were just at the tip of the iceberg, and we were not ready for all that lied beneath. Upon looking into this situation, you'll quickly come to realize that all of the fucked up shit that gets brought up when talking about RealLifeNatsuki comes specifically from her Discord server, the RealLifeNatsuki server. If I had to describe it all to y'all right now, I'd say it's what r/DDLC mods thinks my server is, but actually for real. Since this is the case, me and the boys decided to take a little trip over to the 9th Circle of Hell to take in the rich culture over there and report back our findings. Upon landing in the server, we're presented with several channels that we can talk in, such as General, DDLC General, and that's where the CP is. Hey, what the fuck? Anyways, other channels include Cool Guy Slander, Pets, Face Reveal for F-Slurs, Hall of Retards, Not Safe for Life Shit, Fighting Like Fatties, and of course, who can forget the most important channel of all, the Raping Channel. Okay, let's take a look at some of these channels to see what the people in there are talking about. Juno never sent titty pics to me, she's not a pedo. I showed my penis on call once to prove my size. May God have mercy on your soul then. You do you, my brother. Said by the CP lover. Nene, am I right? It's pretty funny like this.
Oh my fucking god, start people, please. Can the server be normal and start assaulting primary school children and people in your class like me? Not everyone. Child is no longer banned.
This bitch crazy.
I got message logs and I randomly saw a CP pop up and it says it came from DDLC General a minute ago. Ain't that swell? Let's take a look somewhere else, shall we? Oh my fucking god.
Well, I'm out, guys. If this is what's cool now, I think I'm done. I no longer have any connection to this world. I'm gonna go home and kill myself.
I can't ban him, I can only time him out. The man above me is a serial rapist. The Diddy kind. This is freaking Nicky Joe. CP is an instant ban, no? We flamed his ass over VC and all he did was repeat us in a nerd voice. What happened? They freed me, my aura is too big, you know. The CP enthusiast joined the server. Huh? The big R? Yes. I have him blocked, I can't see his pedo messages. How do I get unbanned? The one and only Big R? Yes, the Big R. I'm gonna cry. He is Yeah, he sent CP multiple times. He sent the baby burning his schlong. Yeah, still counts as CP since the kid is naked and you can clearly see his meat. A naked baby? Not even a baby. It's a kid. Like 4 years old. Yeah, safe to say that most of us that went in there didn't really stay for long, and the few that did stay was just there to gather information. This is pretty much the RealLifeNatsuki server every minute of every day. From slurs being thrown around like they're absolutely nothing, to shit that would get you and I put on a watch list just for simply existing around it. It was clear as day that something needed to be done about this. For the time that we were in the server, we were able to gather quite a bit of information on RealLifeNatsuki to help put the pieces of the puzzle together. Madison is a now 16-year-old girl residing in the UK. By the way, I should preface that I'm actually not doxing her right now. All of this is publicly readily available information that anyone can find. She would gain her following of 22,000 at the time of recording this from posting TikToks of her cosplaying as various different characters. Most notably, Natsuki from the game DDLC, if that wasn't obvious. The earliest post on the account can be dated back to July 22nd, 2024. And while the TikToks themselves are very innocuous and are what you'd expect to find on the platform, she has a Discord link in her bio that links to the server that's been the focal point of this entire video. Although this wasn't the first server she created, as this one was created at the beginning of 2025, and Madison brings up the existence of an old server that got nuked by Discord for most likely the same things we've discussed in this video already. The server is where Madison would leak a lot of personal information, as she treats it more like a private GC instead of a server with hundreds of strangers, some of which with very malicious intentions. This is where you come to find out the existence of her younger brother Toby, who was the one that was holding the Natsuki body pillow. So yes, Madison is guilty of posting CP of her own brother just to simply bully him. We'd also be introduced to Madison's bulimia disorder, which according to her got so bad on January 5th that she had to be taken to the hospital, in which the only thing she was concerned about was whether or not she had her phone so she could talk in the Discord server. She also revealed the fact that her mother has died, and that her father is the only one taking care of her at the moment. This is where I'm going to stop the lore recap, as this pretty much discusses everything you need to know. Well, almost everything, as there was one very important event that I think needs to be discussed on its own. Something that, upon witnessing for the first time, made my heart sink to the floor. January 15th, 2025. Madison would log onto Discord and drop a series of videos in the announcements channel in her server. I'm gonna play the censored audio of these and go through and describe what's happening within them. This is the only way I can show these without getting the video completely stricken down, and even then, there's a good chance it probably still will. I have to warn you that what you're about to witness is very graphic, and I'm just gonna throw the trigger warnings on the fucking screen right now. You can read those. If you don't want to hear any discussions of anything like this, I'd understand if you just skip forward or just leave entirely. I totally understand. Although, if you don't really mind, if you're fine with it, then get ready to listen to some of the most gut-wrenching shit I've heard in a very long time. Video 1 starts off with Madison showing her arm to the camera with what looks to be a few visible cuts. This is immediately confirmed as she says the following.
Now look at my arms, they're so bloody.
She ends it off by saying that she'll, quote, make more cuts for you guys later, a promise that you're about to find out she goes through with. Video 2 shows Madison cutting into her arm with a razor blade. She goes on talking about how she hates Muslims and gay people while continuing to cut herself, going as far as to say that she wishes to be dead from their existence alone. Video 3 is where we get a lot more context as to why Madison is in fact doing this. Once again, like in video 2, she shows off her cut up and bleeding arm to the camera. She does this in nearly every video going forward, so I'm not going to keep bringing it up. Just keep it in mind. She opens up video 3 by bringing up some guy named Cool Guy, and how he, quote, makes her so fucking mad.
Cool Guy makes me so fucking mad. I fucking hate Cool Guy.
Now this brings up the question of who is Cool Guy and what did he do to piss her off this much? Well, if you plug the RealLifeNatsuki TikTok URL into the Wayback Machine, you can find an archive of her profile captured on November 24th, 2024, and in the bio you'll see her say, matching with @CoolGuy. Yes, he's my BF. So Cool Guy is Madison's ex-boyfriend, which makes the rest of this video make a lot more sense. And if you remember back to the initial Reddit post where the OP said she spreads false information of her ex-boyfriend cheating on her with a trans girl, her boyfriend did nothing of the sort and broke up with her because of her racism, this is in fact referencing Cool Guy here. Again, giving a lot more context as to why she says the things she says and does. She goes on to say afterwards that he was in her Discord server despite being banned.
Who let him in here? I fucking banned him.
And then proceeds to call him a, quote, pansexual F-slur, and that he makes her wish that she was dead. I think we found one of the driving factors behind Madison's bigotry, or at least her homophobia, assuming that the comments she espouses is actual legitimate beliefs of hers. She finishes video 3 by saying she's gonna keep cutting herself, and even threatening to go get a knife from her kitchen. Video 4 is more of the same, but this time saying that she hates the, quote, gooners in her server instead.
You gooners have ruined my life so much. I'm gonna have to keep cutting because of how much I fucking hate you gooners.
Towards the end, we do see a rare moment of self-reflection though, and it genuinely saddens me every time I have to go back and look over this part.
Because I've ruined my life. I miss how I used to be. I miss when I wasn't just fucking a horrific person.
And to make it all worse, at the end, she ends up cutting into a vein, and you can see the blood flowing down her arm. Video 5, I'll just let the audio speak for itself.
Look at the way the blood's just dripping down my arm. This is what all you gooners have done to me. What did I do wrong? I hate you all so much. Ugh, I wish I was dead from all of you. You make me so mad I want to die.
Video 6 is only 10 seconds long, and it shows her licking the blood that's now smeared on her arm.
It's just smearing all up on my arm. Take a look at it. Wait, I'm gonna lick it.
Video 7 starts with her commenting on how her arm stings right after she licked the wounds. And yes, the blood is in fact more smeared in this video than it was in the previous, proving that she did in fact do it. The rest of the video is basically a carbon copy of video 3, with her saying that she hates gay people, Muslims, and Cool Guy, and wishes to die so she doesn't have to be around them anymore. Video 8 is 13 seconds of Madison on her hands and knees, breathing heavily, in a clearly delirious state. There aren't many things that could truly break my heart. Like, this is one of them. This is one of them. I promise you, we're almost done. Video 9, the final video posted, shows Madison back on her bed once again, casually showing off her numerous cuts all down her arm to the camera. This time seeming to have calmed down from the manic state that she possessed in the previous recordings. There we go. We made it through all 9 recordings that Madison posted to her server, and we can now begin to understand the depth and severity of what's going on. When I first caught wind of this, I only saw what everyone else saw. That being an
So, I understand that many of you are probably gonna take offense to this, but let's just start off nice and slow so I don't, rush into the part where it's going to hurt the most. So, this chick, for one, she started off being unhinged. So you guys know how this works. When you start rage baiting the internet and being edgy, you instantly get a boost. And it works perfectly for you. So, yeah, basically, it's just like every single time when you actually start, you know, hold on. Okay, there we go. So, every single time that you basically start rage baiting, you instantly get a boost, right? You instantly get fame, you instantly get likes from everyone else. They start laughing, they start repeating sentences from you. However, in the long run, it's actually damn near draining. So as you guys see here, this chick, or more likely this cosplayer, as I always expect a cosplayer to be, whether you like it or not, usually weird, awkward, a very 50-50 personality of edginess, super unfunny, and I guess you can say straight up annoying. So usually a lot of these cosplayers, they kind of think they're really funny saying the same exact shit over and over and over and over again. Now, I wish I could understand where these people's mindsets are, but, you know, we can only understand as much as we can. And it's just like, I can't really sympathize with someone like this. I can't. Now, I wanted to touch on the subject where many people would not like to talk about. And I mean like many fucking people would not like to talk about. So, you guys realize and know that every single time that someone talks about parents and all this, like it's their real upbringing of why they're doing all this shit, here's the difference. There's those who are controlled and making up an excuse to cause violence, and those who understand their situation and where it's at. If you're someone who understands your situation and where it's at and you're trying to make the best of it, awesome. You are a very tough soldier. You are someone who's pushing through. You're not being destructive because you lost someone else in your family. You're pushing through like your mother, your father, whoever it is, auntie, cousin, brother, sister, mother, father, you're pushing through. But if you're making it worse and you're intentionally trying to be destructive because life is somehow shit for you, so the only way how you can do it is feeling a certain way by rage baiting people, I feel no sympathy for you. I'm letting you know right now, I feel no sympathy for you. Because clearly you know what you're starting, clearly you know what you're doing, and it's not that fucking deep. But you're doing it anyway, instinctually. So, I wanted to remind everyone of this. Maybe I've said it in a past video, but I feel like when there's no mother involved, compassion is lost. A father cannot actually give a compassionate child what is needed. And I feel like once you lose compassion, you lose all respect. That's worse than a kid that is with a single mother and is being destructive. At least they have sentience of what they're doing. I believe a fatherless No, a motherless child is far worse because with no compassion, you will never look back and regret anything. That's why this girl low-key was on the verge of, well, yeah, the game over button. And you guys know what I mean by game over. Because all her entire time she spent on planet Earth was rage baiting. And being a cosplayer is like instant success. Whether you're like, you know, a nobody or somebody, you'll eventually get a fandom for no reason. Only because there's other cosplayers like you. Now, if I really wanted to tell you guys straight up, what I really mean is just, I'm just saying, bro. You can't really try and make it out to be like about parents and shit. Oh, the parents are the problem. That's why she's doing this. That's not it. But I feel like there's a lot more to the story. And this guy's already gotten 100-something likes. And he hasn't posted for a month. Not a good idea, dude. You shouldn't have been posting. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out here causing problems, making an issue for yourself, no one's not gonna sympathize with you on the internet, especially me. I'm not gonna do it. All I can say is I hope you do better. But what you're doing is not okay. You're being destructive and you're not listening. Like, you should have never started off rage baiting in the first place. What would be more respectful to me is you just stick to cosplay. But she ruined that. And then on top of that, her whole Discord was full of CP and R-wording or graping. Like, come on, bro. Hating Jews, hating blacks, hating Muslims, hating gays. Just hating everybody. That is not you. This is why you are last place. And unfortunately for you, whatever happens next after this, it's over. Game over. Your reputation is scorched. Eviscerated. Oblivion. Like, why would you even do that? The fact that you even thought, oh, hey, well, basically I'm gonna do all this shit in my Discord and I'm gonna think it's real funny. And everyone else in that Discord needs to get banned too. The FBI also needs to watch them as well. Because for them to be doing that is not okay. I'm not going to just blame her. I saw her Discord server. It's all of them. It's not just her. All of them need to be put on a watch list. The fact that they were doing that and encouraging her, they were probably laughing. And you guys have to know how the gaming community is. Unfortunately, we love encouraging that game over mode. You know what I'm saying? We love encouraging that. We love watching people fail. We love it. Especially when they're going through their most traumatic moments. We love doing it. And that's the truth. You could say I'm lying, but I'm telling the truth, bro. This chick is literally mentally ill and she's encouraging herself to do worse. Saying that she hates everyone and then talking about this cool guy, her boyfriend or something. Look, I don't know what else to say on this situation like that, except, what is wrong with you? Why would you start off like this? I hope you get the mental health that you need. And I hope maybe it will come to fruition that you understand how crazy you sound and how crazy you look. But I can't help crazy, I'll tell you that much. Anyways, guys, I know it's been a long time, I think. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. What is wrong with you? Why would you start off like this? I hope you get the mental health that you need. And I hope maybe it will come to fruition that you understand how crazy you sound and how crazy you look. But I can't help crazy, I'll tell you that much. Anyways, guys, I know it's been a long time, I think. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Hi, I'm Lucy Christian. I am the voice of Otako Uraraka, and you should subscribe to Neusxanity's channel. Peace out!